Welcome back to Bloodborne, part 12. Here we are at the Hunter's Dream. Make sure that you have expended all of your blood echoes and got any items that you need, because we are now going to go ahead and force a death on ourselves. We're going to go ahead and do this by going to the Cathedral Ward. There's plenty of areas that this can happen, depending on where you meet your first bagman. For the most part, most of the newcomers will probably already have gone here on accident because they died to the first bagman when we were dropping down from the Cathedral Ward area, so that we can get behind the gate to continue on through the rest of the Cathedral Ward level. If not, there's one that would be on the right path, leading out from the grand staircase. He's kind of overwatching a hill. The bagman in the corner from where we're at right now. And then probably one more that I can't remember where he kind of walks around. But they're kind of littered throughout, so if you do accidentally take a death to them, you will probably have seen this area already. But we'll go ahead and just let it happen. So this guy right here, he's kind of a nuisance. You actually want the last hit to be from the bag people. You don't want it to come from anybody else. So we'll go ahead and take care of this guy now. Yes, he will drop echoes, but as I said before, if we already spent echoes and we get them just from running through a level or having to defend ourselves against enemies, then just consider them echoes that you never got to begin with. So from here, we'll go ahead and let this guy go ahead and get us. Like I said, the bag does a lot of damage. So, pretty creepy cutscene right here. Alright, Yahar'gul, the Unseen Village. This is where you will end up if you accidentally die to the bag people. So for this place, it is always dark, so you just want to keep your hand lantern on you at all times. And go ahead and check out some of this area. It's very creepy. Very cool aesthetic for like a jail situation. And one location that has actual like ambience music and stuff like that going on in the background, so which is pretty cool. I wish they would have done that throughout the entirety of Bloodborne, because not everything has to be Dark Souls, but it is what it is. So yeah, dying to the bad guys, this is what's going to happen. You're going to end up this place, and it's going to look like a complete nightmare, just to kind of be like, oh my god, where am I at? There's no way to get back to, you know, the Hunter's Dream or anything of the sort. I actually never really tried to pop a Bold Hunter's Mark, so I don't know if that would take you back just here in the jail, or back to the last little point that you were at. I'm sure that it'll probably just transport us right back to the cell. Two paths you can take. Coming out of the little cell here, you will either go left to continue up, or you're going to go right for some optional things. Now, this place can be completely skipped if you don't die to the bagman like at all until like a much later part in the game where we actually do have to come through here. So it's just generally nice to come through here and see what this place has to offer, while also picking up twin bloodstone shards and other little materials for the rest of the game. Read the note here: madmen toil surreptitiously in rituals to beckon the moon, uncover their secrets. Okay. We'll go ahead and pick this up. Now, down here, there is going to be an NPC.
Oh, God, help me. In the name of the healing church, cleanse us of this horrible dream.
So, an NPC interaction down here. If you're not wearing the correct uniform, you will not get her to do anything. So, as I said before in an earlier video, we had to pick up the Black Church set. You find this set over in that little alleyway where you meet Ariana and the schizophrenic man. You want to go ahead and put on all of this stuff. Pick up the items here. And she'll be tucked away in the corner right over here. And the supposed hint to get her to move from Yahar'gul over to the cathedral ward is to basically look at the design of her clothing, wear the same thing that she's wearing, and then speak to her in that format, because she is part of the healing church.
By your God, the healing church. You've come to save me. Oh, thank you, dear saint. I have no words to express my relief. You can take this, at least. It's sure to please an upstanding member of the church like you. Oh, thank you so much, dear gods. Thank you so much. I was seized on the street by the hulking brute in the cathedral ward and locked up here. There were many others, but they've been taken away. And I've heard moans echoing in the distance ever since. So, the hunt is on tonight. Then the streets are perilous, and every door will be shut tight. Perhaps it isn't my place to ask, but do you know somewhere that might take me in?
Okay, another option here. You can go ahead and tell her to go to Odin Chapel, or go to Yusefa's clinic to become an alien and another rune. Or just not tell her anything and she'll just stay here forever. Obviously opting to save everybody. So for this specific NPC though, you do kind of have to watch out for her. Once we go to Odin Chapel, I will explain what her problem is.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll set out as soon as I can. I pray for success on your hunt, kind hunter. I'll set out as I pray for kind.
And that is it. So exhaust her dialogue all the way through so you get that interaction, and then change back into your best set for survivability. I just have this innate thing to do. I have to roll up the stairs. Don't know why. It's a Souls thing. Alright, so we're faced with two additional paths to go here. You're going to have an up and a down. So we have a little critter that is here. He'll be right here. You kind of want to choke him off like right in this direction. Grab those and we'll be able to produce our first +6 weapon after this. So the idea is that once you find the critter, you're going to be running up here and then get immediately ambushed by 2 bagmen right there. And they will mess you up. So just be careful. So coming down here, you saw something flash through the screen. That is a Witch of Hemwick that is now considered a regular enemy for this area. So if you're not careful, you will get ambushed off to the side here. As you can see, they're kind of watching us. Now, if that grab attack connects, it's going to do that same animation where they're kind of like plucking your eyeballs or doing whatever the hell they do with their little ice cream scoopers. It will do a lot of damage, so just be careful. We'll revisit this area down here later, but we wanted to get rid of that. I just wanted to show that as a threat, because that is their ambush point. Take either side right here, and then just kind of walk. If you end up aggroing one of the bagmen, that's fine. Just run back down the stairs, and I'll showcase why you do that. Check either side of the doors here. They will both be locked, but not for long. And here's your lantern. So the lantern's not too far to get to, but you can make a lot of mistakes and die prior to, which is why I said you just want to end up not having any echoes that you'll regret losing way back from where you came from in Yarnum. Little note down here: nightmarish rituals, crave a newborn, find one, and silence its harrowing cry. Okay, some more world building. Ominous notes. 2 bag dudes and a lantern. So if you straight up just don't want to be in here, you have no idea what's going on, pop the lantern, go back to the Hunter's Grate. And this place will always be accessed through the lamp up to a certain point, but we will explore it because we are not sissies. So 2 bag dudes can be a general problem, but there is a kind of easy way to deal with them. So you want to aggro this guy, and what you can do is kind of use the stairs to your advantage. If both of them lock onto you, then just use the stairs here, and you'll see that they can't come through. It'll look like he can follow you, but for whatever reason, it's one of those AI tricks where he just straight up cannot follow you. Now, this isn't a foolproof method. He can do a lot of damage, and you will die either to that or to his bag slam move, especially when he goes in that Super Saiyan mode. It can get pretty bad. The kick is very powerful, especially when upgraded. That little downward slam with their feet will pretty much be an insta-kill for the HP that I'm rocking right now. Not even the physical reduction rune can really do much for you on that. But once you take that, that is a safe method in a way to kind of deal with him, so you're not circling around and getting smacked around. This guy should be a little bit easier. Just walk up behind him and pull off a visceral. We picked up another rune. That's going to be Moon, so you get more echoes from just slaying enemies in general. So very good rune too if you're just straight up into echo echo farming. I want you to take care of the bad guys here. This place is full of ambushes. Like I said before, if you just kind of peek the corner, you can see what's awaiting you. So she saw us already. Generally, you just kind of walk behind her, pull off a visceral right there so you can get some easy extra runes if you're rocking that badge. This encounter out here can be very dangerous. You want to be very careful with it. Because you'll see that we have a pig that's arriving. So this time we don't have the benefit of a hallway, like in the sewers. But we do want to get that same like kind of jump slam move that you get from these things, like that. Charge up the visceral. And then it's pretty much an insta-kill for me because of how high my skill level is. And easy blood vials. Cold, a pale blood sky. Okay. Multiple paths in this area, but it's actually very short for what it is. One optional hidden boss here, but it's not even in this area. Like, we have to go back into the jail to even access it. So from here, if you take the left side, we are going to be hunted down by 2 dogs and a bagman. So we actually want to draw the 2 dogs away. And you can see that these guys just do a lot of damage. So anything around here is just going to do an extended amount of damage because this area is optional and kind of higher level. That's why the echoes are going up. Pretty much a early echo farming spot, an early game echo farming spot. This guy can be very miserable to deal with because he just hits really hard. So we kind of want to set it up. That won't do anything to you. And like I said before, the strategy to dealing with these guys, because you're going to see them a lot in the childless dungeons, is exactly just what I did. You want to hit them for enough damage to where they kind of charge up their Super Saiyan mode, get behind them, pull off a charge attack, and then visceral them to death. Then they pretty much become, you know, a nothing enemy to you. Very trivial in that manner. And coming down this way, the hidden twin stone blood shards there. Frenzy cold blood here. And the access to that left side door from the jail bottom. And if you actually take that route before coming down there, you can see the setup and the ambush from the 2 witches, and they'll start running towards you from this direction, and you can just kind of poke them through the door. So a little bit more ease of control. Okay. And if that pig actually gets like a few attacks off on you, he can actually kind of one-shot you as well because he hits very hard. Before we go down the stairs or anywhere else, we do want to kind of button hook around this corner. There's going to be a little critter right here. He's kind of hidden in the grass there. And if any indication should show you that this area is a little bit more leveled up than the others, it's these critters. I mean, look how many shots it took to take him out. So they're trying to tell you something here. Come up these stairs and pop this door. Straight into the lantern room. So now you have a side path if you don't want to deal with those two dudes over there. I think I could have popped that door earlier. I think I forgot about it, so I'm going to go run back. I don't think so. Oh, I know what it is. Never mind. I'm a little bit further ahead in the game in my mind than I am playing it. That door will be accessed at a different time. Like a way different time. Okay, so after the button hook and opening up the shortcut out here, you can take the left side, which will be more items, or the right side, which is also more items as well. So we're going to go ahead and opt for the downstairs because this is probably one of the more dangerous areas. And it is filled with dogs. So we just want to kind of come up behind the dogs. Slow walk your way up to them. And give them a nice heavy charge. So you see for one dog, 712 echoes. And if you put the moon rune on, if you went back to the Hunter's Dream, you're going to get like 900 or something like that. One of the more popular sets of the game, the Yahar'gul Black Garb set. This set is really good for physical damage reduction. It is crap in everything else, but it enhances your physical reduction a lot. Somewhat the poison, I think the poison's kind of misleading though. It doesn't really give a whole lot to it. And it's a full cage around the face, so if you spend some time to build your character and make them as you wanted, you are no longer going to be able to see the face. But pretty cool. I mean, you kind of look like Grim Reaper-ish there. Not someone you really kind of want to run into and kind of mess with. But in my opinion, Hendrik's gear is just very good for the early game. It does pretty much everything better. So common mistake about Yahar'gul is that you just rush through it. You rush through it and you take damage, you get chased by everything, and you die. That's what this place is all about. Come to the corner for a dead guy and a frenzy cold blood. Hop around this corner and you'll find nothing. This is a elevator that we will not have access to in a long while. So don't even worry about it. Looking down, you can see you have another pig to deal with, eventually. Come around here and you can actually jump across and on top of this little wagon. But seeing that there are multiple dogs and a pig to deal with, you probably don't want to corner yourself like that. Unless you have a really powerful weapon that you can just kind of shoot everything from range and take it all out in one shot. go ahead and drop the pig. And that is from being late at dodging around that thing. But that's how much damage they can really pull off on you. So not a problem. It's actually like kind of a benefit to die in a way, because then you can go back and just kill everything and get a lot of runes, because you see how easy it is to do so. So then, right here, we just have to be able to survive the pig encounter from the bottom. That is a poison mist. Do well to avoid it. As you can see, the timing on dodging those charges it's pretty tight. So I would just stay locked off and kind of do a roll around the side of it, just so it doesn't connect. But sometimes they do kind of the hitbox is wonky on them, and because they're so fat and big that just being near them is enough to kind of touch you and push you far distances. But those two pigs in general are very good for farming because they just give you a lot of little echoes. First instance of bolt paper, it just transforms our weapon into an electrical weapon. So that is the downside of the rifle spear, is that the rifle spear will not want to turn into anything of the sort. So just make do with what you got on that end. If that is not for you, then obviously don't use it, because the saw spear or the saw cleaver are good candidates for that. The hunter's axe and the threaded cane will all turn into specific little weapons for you. So this area is all about drawing out the dogs one at a time. I do suggest not playing with this area and just staying topped off on your health. You do have the pigs to revive your vials if you really need to. But you don't want to be caught with like half HP, because everything here just hits way too hard. Sometimes they just pull off those cheat moves. It's really why FromSoft dogs are hated above all enemies in the games. So for this encounter, you do want to kind of poke at the dogs first, because they are the most dangerous of the three. Just circle around him and grab the item in case you die. You don't have to redo all this stuff. Right there, we went ahead and picked up the nitrous weapon. I cannot use it because I do not meet the requirements. But it's pretty much just a little metal ball that can transform into an electrical weapon, so great for arcane builds, and probably the only arcane weapon that will surface itself for a long while. Its durability is probably the weakest of all the weapons in the game at this point. And I think just in general, just one of the worst durable weapons of the game. But it does have a little, the trick form of it is when you just kind of turn it into electricity. But the problem is, it's not a very favored weapon in Bloodborne because blunt damage is just kind of negligible. There's not really enemies except for like very specific 2 or 3 that are weak to blunt, because everything's either weak to serrated or thrusting weapons. And then after that, we have completed the item gathering of the top and side areas. So then what you want to do is begin to make your way down to the jail. Now, we would have taken the other side path, but because we died, I would have to reset this entire room. Fight those 2 dogs along with the bagman, and I don't want to do that. Over here. Alright, so all the dead dudes here are alive. Just kind of swipe at them. The idea is that this is an ambush spot, so you want to be careful. Now, I find these 2 guys to be really hard to fight in this tiny little jail area. So unless you're pretty good at getting off your parries. Easy strat is just to get them to come out here. Just be very careful for the second guy on the side of you, because his attacks do clip through. But you can poke through walls as well, so... Just one of those funny little Bloodborne things that you can do. So that's an easy method to deal with them. I mean, you can parry them and all that stuff, but they hit way too hard, and they're kind of a one-hit kill, especially in this cheap environment. And coming over here, we have some more fake dead dudes. Go ahead and deal with them. So then coming out to this direction, you're going to see that there is a giant beast over there. You can use your monocle. Kind of make out that that's like some type of thing out there, you know? So that is a optional boss that you can completely skip. Off to the side there, you see that there's a summoning help. We are actually going to use that summon when we come back. Because the biggest issue we got is that we're traveling with 32,000 echoes and we don't want to lose them to a boss fight. So the two bagmen are usually right here, but they were aggroed because we killed the lesser guys. When we come back and do the run through, we just got to deal with the two witches, make sure we don't get caught by them, and then run straight past, summon our help, and then take on the boss of the zone. That's essentially Yahar'gul, though. That's from the first part that you arrive here. And we'll go ahead and return to the Hunter's Dream. Make sure to do your loop. So we know that we're going to fortify the rifle spear up to +6. And I have enough twin bloodstone shards to upgrade, you know, weapon to a +4 again. Pretty much, I really don't want to start like getting into the habit of using the saw spear as much because this is supposed to be just rifle spear in the reader palash when I end up getting it. So I don't want to invest in it too much, just to save for buying or having to kind of grind away for more of those twin bloodstone shards. And the pistol, I am still debating on if I want to change that out. I do know a weapon that I want in the future, so I think a +3 is just fine for now. So we will just keep the rifle spear at 6. Prepare anything we need to. Go ahead and take a look at any bloodstone gems that you might want. I've gained the imprint number 3 because I've upgraded the weapon to +6. So anything from here that can kind of help me out, you know, I just generally go for bigger damage numbers. If I wanted to, I can use the HP continue to recover, but we don't really struggle with stuff like that. I'm either all in or I'm all dead. From here, I would say probably change the air rune into the moon rune, because you're just going to get more echoes just from, you know, basically just kills, instead of having to do viscerals and stuff like that. Nothing new here, well, unless you want to buy the Grey Wolf set. Nothing new here.
Well, what is it? Very well then. Farewell, good mate.
Then you do want to at least level up enough to not have that many runes on hand.
Welcome, what is... Very well, let... Farewell.
Go ahead and buy some cocktails, and then the rest on pebbles. So going into that fight with 0 runes and 3 insight. Meaning that we will only have 3 chances at summoning that guy if we continuously die to the boss, so just be aware that you do have a certain limit of chances if you spend all of your insight before the Witches of Hemwick. Now we want to go back to the Hypogeon jail, which is where Yahar'gul is located. And a good route for this thing is to come out through this, pop a left. Oh, what am I talking about? Just come on through here, ignore that guy. Let your stamina kind of charge up, because you want to make a run straight through here. Pop through, don't get grabbed, that was close. Run through these guys. Run through these guys. And that will pretty much be the death run back each and every single time if you don't beat this thing on first go. Kind of wait it out, make sure nothing's chasing you, because you don't want your NPC to start messing around with stuff he's not supposed to. So it's a beast enemy known as the Great Beast Parl. He's an electrified beast, so fire and serrated weapons will do the best amount of damage to him. You can use Defector Antil to kind of play as bait or whatever, take the attention off of you like we did with Father Gascoigne and the Cleric Beast. You can oil earn and throw Molotovs to get some good damage in. He's kind of fast though, and kind of scrambles around and does a lot of weird movements, so getting those off might be very difficult. He won't be susceptible to the Pungent Blood Cocktail. Not really sure if he can poison the thing, but we're going to find out, because my spear has innate poison on it now. And in general, that's really the only strat, is kind of stay underneath it. Wait for its wild swings to kind of end. After a while, it'll kind of unelectrify itself and become vulnerable. You kind of want to have to poke at its head if you can, and once it's down, it'll allow you for visceral attacks and stuff like that. But for the most part, you want to keep your NPC helper alive and just kind of smack away at the legs until you break them or something like that. So this is kind of like it's like a little bit of a stamina HP monitoring type of enemy. Really cool spectacle, but other than that, he's just another beast that wails around like crazy. And then for the NPCs in this game, just kind of stick with them. Their AI is really dumb. They kind of get hooked up on stuff. So you see Defector Antil, he's coming with a flame sprayer, his own little kind of spear-like weapon. So not quite the rifle spear, but a spear-like weapon, and he's wearing the Yahar'gul set. This fight can be very difficult, because it's just the damage that is really what's bad, and the hitboxes on this thing are terrible. So nothing in the corner, just run up on it and get some free shots. That lightning is the worst thing about it. That large swipe that it does is very hard to predict. Getting underneath it is a good strategy, but sometimes it likes to pull off that lightning move just like that. Very hard to tell when it's going to do it. And, yep, the range on it is just incredibly stupidly big. I would say just stay away from it while it tries to get recharged. And that's unfortunate. Just took way too much damage there. So biggest issues with that first attempt was that I wasn't even hitting it with the spear form. You could tell that having a serrated fire weapon was probably going to be way more beneficial than what that was. Yeah, sometimes she likes to get in your way. So. Had I transformed the weapon earlier to start out with and started doing the wider swings, it probably would have favored me better in getting damage off quicker. And the summon was actually doing a pretty good job at what it's supposed to do. That's actually the longest I've seen Defector survive the fight. And then I just got caught in a blast radius that was too much for my HP to kind of handle. So even with Henrik set 2, you can see how much damage that thing really does to you. It's just an unforgivable. Really the most dangerous thing is just that shockwave that it does. It's just highly unpredictable. And the radius being what it is makes it even more difficult to deal with. See, even trying to roll away and from that, it's just not enough. And then you can tell from the last fight how many times we were able to knock it down. This time it's not even happening at all, really. So, Carl is a bastard. And you see that we only took one shot to do that. So actually kind of incredible to see the Defector go ahead and survive that fight. Usually he dies kind of midway through the health bar, so you're fighting that thing solo no matter what. Very tough fight though. You can see why he's optional. Just kind of spammy, rolls around way too much. Really hard to trigger when you're breaking his limbs and stuff like that. And then he likes to kind of move his head away from where you're trying to get some viscerals off and stuff like that. Only real suggestion I can have about the fight is Henrik's Garb is the best for reducing the electrical damage that it does. And then you might want to take like 1 or 2 swipes at his legs and then just keep a distance away from it. Probably upgrade the Flame Sprayer to +3 or something like that, just so you can continuously do fire damage on it, since it has a wider spread. Or just, go with the serrated saw cleaver or saw blade and just kind of hack away at it until it dies. But Parl is wild and not easy to deal with. So this is the old Yhar'gul door that we ran into quite a while back. So this being an optional area in its own right, as well as Yahar'gul the first round, this is actually the back entrance that you would take in order to get Durja to be kind of like your friend, in a way. So you don't have to deal with his machine gunning rant. Because at this point you wouldn't have really killed any of the little beast dudes that he would have seen. Go ahead and light the lamp. And the lamps in this game, you do not have to go to the hunter's room and return back to get them in your menu. They will just be there. So it's not like Dark Souls in a way like that, where you have to rest at the bonfire in order to keep it at your menu. So once you light it, it is good. It is on your map forever. Unless it has a story purpose to be unlit. So the idea is you would have gotten the Hunter Chief Emblem key, went through the gate the more improper way, completely skipped all of Old Yhar'gul, ended up probably getting smacked around by a bag dude, ended up here, finding this guy, and then accessing the back gate into Old Yhar'gul. And you would have kind of reversed your way through this area. So you would have dealt with the little beast here kind of running after me right now. Yep, so everyone's coming after the old hunter now. Then continue your way over here. Come up through this area. And then you would have entered the chapel area, climbed the stairs. So these guys are all spawned in here. You would have climbed the stairs over that side right there, popped over, and then you would have ended up on the bridge. Or you could have popped right here and taken the ladder, which is the more intended route. Pop up here, take the ladder all the way up, and then you would have met Durja, and he would have been a lot more friendlier with you rather than what he was doing with the little minigun stuff. And then you would have gotten a gesture, and I think you still would have received the powder keg badge without the need to kill him. So like I said, it's more used for a New Game Plus run, because trying to get through this whole ordeal and missing all those echoes for level ups, really just not good for a newcomer run, and skipping an area completely is, you're kind of missing out on experience there. So I'll go ahead and return to the Hunter's Dream. That was it for Yahar'gul for now. And then once you're back here, do the loop, and we will continue on with the main story of the game. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.